Hi everyone, this is Smriti. Welcome to QA automation classes. So today is the 21 class number 21, and today we are going to learn about moving our browser related code to the a separate class called as the browser factory. And since we are going to initialize the driver and everything here, so we can at once also implement the concept of the thread local and thread guard, right? So if you are following my automation development series in the TDD automation development series, we have implemented the concept of the working with the thread local and the thread guard for the parallel execution, right? So while implementing the browser factory from the start only, I want to implement this. Okay, so without wasting further time, let's get started. So let's go to our IntelliJ, and if you see, I have there are different packages we should have automation utilities, right? Okay, so here we have the base steps. So similarly, let's add a new class called browser factory. Okay, new. Let me restart. Now we have to create a class called as the browser factory, and there we will write the code actually. Okay, so let IntelliJ start. So source test automation utilities. Okay, so now right click, new Java class. Okay, so name it as browser factory. Okay, so browser factory class, and in the browser factory class, what exactly we're going to write? Okay, so in the browser factory we have to keep the browser initialization code here, right? And for the parallel execution, as I have told you, we're going to use the concept of the thread local and the thread guard, and a little bit of background about the thread local and thread guard. So thread local allows user to store the data that can only be accessible by a specific thread. Okay, and we have the two options, two methods, get method and set method. We need to use this value from a thread, right? When we want to use the value from the thread, we can use the get and set method, and remove method to remove the value from the thread local. And the thread guard, it checks that a driver is only called from the same thread that created it. Okay, and thread guard is only applicable in the Java, right? So that we have already seen. If you are following my TDD style of the development from a development series, there I have completely clearly given the example, explain the concept there also. Okay, so let's see. So in the browser factory, let's first define the browser driver. Okay, so public, and you'll say static, right? So we'll make it as public and static, and we'll make it as final. Okay, and we have to use the thread local. Okay, so thread local. Okay, so add Maven dependency for thread local. No, we don't have to add Maven dependency, right? So thread local of the web driver, let's write, and then we'll see web driver. Okay, thread local of the web driver, and let's say driver. Okay, driver equals to new thread local. Okay, new thread local java.lang, right? It is available in java.lang. I don't know why it is giving more actions, right? So it is available in the java. Oh, sorry, there is a typo. I'm missing R here. Okay, so makes sense now. So public static final thread local of the web driver, and I'm calling the reference as driver equals to new thread local. Okay, and now again we have to use a logger, right? So I can say private logger log. Okay, so what about this logger? So it has to be imported from the I can go and import it those two, right? Logging.log4j, but let me go here and copy those two imports, log manager and logger. Okay, so go to the import section and put them. Okay, private logger. Okay, so after logger, what else we need? So we need to read the URL and the browser information from the properties file, right? So let's go to the configuration.properties where we have our app URL and the browser, right? So okay, so let's go to the browser factory and define the properties. Okay, so how to define the properties? So we'll say private properties, capital P, sorry, private properties java.util, and you will say prop. Okay, so I'll give the variable name as the prop, and what else we need to the properties file? From the properties file we'll reading two values. Okay, so one is the browser and another one is the application URL, right? So browser and app URL. So let's define the variables for them. So private string, let's say browser name, and so browser name, and second one will say private string browser name, another one is the app URL, right? So let's say application URL. Makes sense now? Okay. So these many things we need here. Okay. So we need thread local of the WebDriver and logger properties, browser name and application URL. So now we have to write the browser setup method. Okay. So let's say public, okay, and return type is WebDriver. Why WebDriver? Because we'll be returning the WebDriver instance. Okay. So let's say browser setup. Okay. Let's say the method name is browser setup. Okay. And here we have to write the thing. Okay, so let's put it inside a try catch, because when you are going to read the properties file, right, it might throw the exception. So let's put a try block. Okay, and here we can put the catch. Okay, catch exception e something. Print status. Okay, so the code will go here. Missing return statement. Okay, we'll add the return statement. So let's see first what we're trying to do inside the try block. So first thing first. Okay, so first thing is we have to get the logger, right? So we have already defined logger, right? So I can say log equals to log manager dot get logger, right? So get logger, and inside the logger you say this dot get class, this dot get class dot get name. Okay, dynamically it will read the class name. Makes sense now? And then after that we have to create the object of the properties class. So prop equals to new properties. Okay, so prop, or what is the name, private properties. So prop equals to new capital P, it's class name, right? New properties. Okay, and done. Properties equals to new properties. After that let's load the properties file, right? So how to load? So we have prop dot load, right? So prop dot load. So what we're going to load, and here you have to pass the class name, right? So let's give the class name here, browser factory dot class. Okay, dot get class loader, right? So get class loader dot get resources stream, and we have to give the name of this properties file. So let's give configuration dot properties. Okay, makes sense. Configuration dot properties. This is perfect. So now after this what we're going to do, let me expand this one a little bit more. Okay, so now we have loaded the properties file. Now we have to retrieve the browser name and the app URL, right? Those two things we need to do. So the first list, since it is a browser setup, let's first get the browser related information. So how to do that? So let's say system.get property, right? So how to retrieve system.get property. Okay, and what is the key? So key, browser key, configuration.properties. This is the browser. Okay, so let's go here and say browser, and we have to store it as the browser name, right? So let's say browser name equals to system.getProperty of browser. So now the code will follow here, right? So we have to go to a series of if else, right, to understand which type of browser our application supports. Let's say our application supports Firefox, Edge, and Chrome. So we have to write three conditions, okay, and we have to initialize and instantiate those respective browser driver, right? So now so let's say log.info. Okay, browser info, browser is, let's say browser is, okay, plus, okay, so we have the browser name here, right? Just say we are going to print, okay, which browser got selected. So now, so let's write those if else condition. Okay, so if, okay, so I'm saying browser name dot equals ignore case. Okay, so I'll say Chrome. First I'll do the Chrome. So if it is Chrome, what we need to do, we need to initialize the Chrome, right? So now let's say driver dot set. Okay, instead of writing driver equals to new Firefox driver, I will use the thread guard and the thread local and thread guard concept. Okay, so driver dot set. Okay, so what we are going to set, we have to say new Chrome driver, right? So let's say new Chrome driver. Okay, so this is what you do for the driver dot set new Chrome driver, but we have to protect it also, right? So we have a method called as the thread guard dot protect. Okay, so let's say thread guard, see, thread guard. Okay, so thread guard dot protect. So just keep it inside the bracket. Okay, thread guard dot protect. So driver dot set thread guard. Okay, we'll say thread guard dot protect new Chrome driver. Okay, and semicolon is missing, and this is what we do for the Chrome driver, right? So similarly, if we have to do for the Firefox, okay, so let's say else if, okay, else if I can write the condition, right? Let's write it. Okay, browser name dot and equals to ignore case, we'll go with the age. Okay, edge. So if it is age, what we're going to do, again the same thing right here, and instead of the Chrome driver, go with the edge driver. Okay, so go with the edge driver. Okay, edge driver. And similarly, else if, one more else if, so instead of edge, we'll say Firefox. Okay, so let's say Firefox. Okay, so in case of the Firefox, what we're going to do, we're going to set the driver for the Firefox driver. So new, let's say Firefox. Okay, Firefox driver. Okay, fine, let's import it. Done. Okay, so now we have done all those things. After those, if else if condition, else if, after this we will write else. So let's say log dot info, we'll say this browser is not on supported. Let's say unsupported browser. Okay, unsupported browser is fast. Okay, and here if you want, you can show the unsupported browser name also, right? So that is browser name. Okay, fine. So this is the code. Okay, and then we're catching the exception, and the return statement is missing. Okay, what we're going to return, we're going to return the driver instance, right? So return, I'm saying get driver instance. Okay, so get driver instance. Okay, so this is a method we are going to write, get driver instance. We have not yet designed, so that's why it is showing in the red, but this is what we're going to design now. Okay, so what is this get driver instance? Okay, so let's design this method. So in the get driver distance, we can say public static, and sorry, more or less public static, let's say synchronized. Okay, so you know the concept of the synchronization, right? So we'll go with the synchronized and say web driver. Okay, web driver and get driver instance. This is the method we are going to implement now, and here we'll simply return, right? So we'll simply return driver dot get. Okay, so if you guys have remembered, right, what this get method gives, it returns the web driver object when called, right? So if you have seen if you are paying attention from the starting, I have told, right? So we have the get and the set methods, right? So that is going to give the thread local driver value from the thread local, right, when you use the get or set, and remove when you want to remove the value. Okay, so that remove we'll see later, but now you say we are kind of like setting, right? We are setting the driver as per the browser what is passed, and then through the driver.get method we are getting that corresponding browser driver instance. Okay, so that is the main concept. Okay, so this is nothing but the browser factory, right? So in the next class we'll see the cucumber. Okay, so we have to remove the code also. Okay, so we have to remove those browser factory related code. So let's see. Okay, this is the browser factory, and okay, so before removing this browser factory related code from our page classes, right, so we have our log manager driver equals to driver. Okay, so we'll do one thing before base steps, right? So we have it in the base steps. Okay, so this entire code is in the base step. We have to get rid of this code, and before that let's implement the hooks also, right? Because hooks is another important concept that everyone should know. Okay, so let's use hooks and then we can use it. Okay, I don't want to again implement that and then again go to the hooks and then again update the framework. Okay, so let's implement the hooks and then we'll run it. Okay, so that all to this class, guys. If you guys are really enjoying, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel, and please share it with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get benefited out of it. And if you have any questions or doubt, please put them in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And please, if you are liking the content that is being given or uploaded in the channel, please give us a thumbs up. That will motivate me to come up with the such real-time concepts. Okay, so till then, thank you, bye bye, see you.